Hello and welcome back to another video. Today's video is the first of our St. Patrick's Day bows. This one is by Mazie Moo and it is the Paddy pinch bow. I'm just trying to straighten up that top layer because apparently it did not glue on straight. And I didn't notice that when I showed you guys in the preview in the last video. In fact, I didn't notice it until right now, so there's that. Alright, so this is the Paddy pinch bow, and I am going to show you guys how to make that bow. The template has a little bit more pieces than I'm used to, but I'll walk through them with you. You have the center wrap. You have the top pinch bow layer. There's two pieces to that. You have layer 2, which is this very interestingly shaped one, but again, I will show you guys how to do that one. And then you have the 2 bottom spikes. All of this together is supposed to look like a 4-leaf clover. But you have the bottom 2 spike layers. As I said last time, all of my pieces are pre-cut, and I'm using a 3-inch alligator clip for you. The materials you're going to need obviously are your template, your materials to cut out. You're going to need your alligator clip, scissors, lighter, hot glue gun, and you are going to need thread for the pinch bow top layer. Alright, so let's break the pieces apart. We're going to attach the spike together first. So I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this without ruining how this spike layer is supposed to lay on top of each other. You're going to want to glue the center, but make sure everything is the right way. Everything's centered. You have the same amount of, well, here, glitter canvas around the print faux leather. Once the center is done, I peel back and glue along the edge of the top layer of these spikes and lay that down, again making sure everything is centered and it's not crooked. And then do that to the other side. You'll find that this makes a very, very thick spike. So if you end up having to use glitter canvas or faux leather that isn't quite as good quality, you'll know that at least it's sturdy because you'll be gluing both layers together. I just happened to have stuff that was all really decent quality for this bow, so. Alright, once the spike layers are glued together, this is what you're going to end up with. I used the print on the inside so that the glitter canvas was just a border. It looked more like a border than an actual piece, which I think it makes it pop out, the little leprechaun guy. And I went with orange simply because of his beard. I could have gone with gold, but I wanted to go with the color that was in our little leprechaun's beard. So I'm going to glue the clip onto the back. Make sure everything is fully adhered. And we are going to attach the center wrap inside of the clip. Give it a good pinch. Make sure that everything adheres. I have a little bit of a hot glue issue there, and a tiny little bit here. If I hadn't turned it, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. It was just the tiniest little bit, but it's the details that matter. So spikes are taken care of. We are going to put those aside. And the pinch bow layer on the top. You're going to do just a simple pleat. You can glue these together rather than use thread. I just find that the glue tends to make it really bulky and I don't like that feel in my bows. So I end up using thread. You're just going to wrap it around a couple of times just to make sure that everything is secured. And then tie it off. I can safely say that tying around a tripod is not my forte. So pardon the awkward knot tying. I have a tripod between me and my table. Because unfortunately, this is the best setup I have at the current moment to bring you guys these videos. Snip off the excess thread, and you're going to want to save the bigger portion because you're going to need that for the next half of the pinch bow. You want to make sure that, unlike me, you have actually made the pinch bow symmetrical in the middle and you don't have to shift your thread, but if you do, that's fine. Just give a tug and a shift and eventually it'll get down to where it needs to get to. And again, you're going to fold the middles down, fold the middles up and then each side down for a simple accordion pleat fold, whatever you want to call it. And again, you could glue these. I just find that it makes the center a little too bulky, so. All right, and we are going to tie this off. And this one also is very not centered. Though it's easier to move when you catch it at the first knot and not when you're completely done. It's still crooked. Alright, I'm going to have to just cut this off. I leave my mistakes in so you guys can see that you will likely end up making mistakes as well, and that there's nothing to worry about. Just redo it. Alright, so I've got more thread. I tend to save my thread when I go to rethread a needle if there's thread left on it. I'll save the thread for things like this. I just blew through what I had left because I only had that one little piece. So It's still not even. You're gonna make mistakes, honestly. Mistakes are all part of this, especially when you're learning a brand new bow. This is only the second time I have done this. So mistakes will happen. If you're not 100% sure if you've gotten it even, I tend to, as you saw, just fold the two ends up and you'll find out if it's even or not, because the center will be in the center. This one, not so much. See, that is even because the center is in the center. So I'm going to tie this off. I've left the thread long for a reason, because once I tie this one off, we're going to tie the two halves together. And I'm going to leave the ends, well, at least one end longer, so that I have something to wrap around the other part. So we're going to trim it right about there. And we're going to bring the two pieces together at the center. It's just a simple matter of... Sorry, my camera shut off there. If you leave it too loose, you end up with the problem that it's going to be hard to pull tight, like I am experiencing now, so I have to rewrap it. I think using this faux leather where it was a little bit thicker was a mistake, but we will power through this and get it to look decent. So we have now tied off the center of that, cut the excess off, and now it's just the fussing of all of the little pieces. We'll see how that looks when we put it on. I'm a little iffy on that. We'll figure it out as we go. All right, the last piece is this piece right here. Now when you go to lay it, glue it down, you're going to match that end up with that angle. So just like that. These are going to overlap in the back. So I tend to do the same thing as I did with a previous bow, where I'll do the top first and then the bottom. I'm probably just being incredibly extra and I don't need to do this, but it seemed to work on the last bow, so. There will be a small gap in between the pieces. That is perfectly fine. These templates do come with printed instructions, like with pictures and words. I do better with visual. And I'm sure there are other visual learners out there, which is why I buy these templates. And even though they come with instructions, I do the videos as well, because again, not everybody learns from pictures. A lot of visual hands-on people have to see what they're doing. All right. we have done the second layer, and now all of our pieces are together. So there we go. And we are going to glue them all in place. Run a line of glue on these spikes to attach the second layer. Hold it down, make sure everything adheres properly. And then you're going to come and make another line of glue for your top pinch bow layer. Making sure that everything is even. I know it looks smushed in the center. We will fix that in a moment. I just want to get the center wrap on there because sometimes faux leather does not play well with glitter canvas, and I do not want to run the risk of this popping up. So we will fuss with everything once this is done. Alright, now let's go back and fix the top pinch bow layer. At the end of the bow, it's usually the time to fuss with all of the layers and get them to look just so. But there you guys go. This is the Paddy pinch bow by Maisie Moo Designs. That is the other version I have done. If you like this video, please click the like button somewhere around there. Right next to it should be the share button. Share it to somebody who you think might be interested in this. If you have any questions or comments or video suggestions, please leave those in the comment section down below. You can alternatively send me a message on Instagram for video suggestions or even themes, things like that. I will do my best to link all of the supplies in the description box. Thank you guys for tuning in. I very much appreciate it. Our next bow is going to be a ribbon bow. And it is going to be a pastel themed bow. So thank you guys for tuning in. I very much appreciate it, and have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Bye.